So I was at a thrift store last week and stumbled upon this in the vinyl bin. Neil Young After the Gold Rush for $2.99. Usually everything at the thrift store is $1.99, so they must have thought this record was fantastic. Anyways, I'm gonna show you the process of how what I do after I bring these records home from the thrift stores or other places that I purchase from, in order to kind of clean them up a little bit and get them playing really well. I do recommend wearing a mask when you're cleaning these old records, and even in the thrift stores looking through the old bins. A lot of old dust and mold and mildew are in there, and so you're knocking that loose when you're pulling the records around and pulling the discs out. So yeah, kind of stumbled upon this after COVID, but it seriously helps if you have sensitive sinuses like I do. Next up in the process, I look up my record on Discogs.com. You can find by the name of the serial number of the record, which is usually on the spine of the record or on the back. So R6383 was this one, I think. And you can scroll down and you can see a bunch of different pressings here. It certainly takes some time and learning about the different etchings on your vinyl, which you kind of have to look at under the glare of the light and get used to figuring out which one is yours, but definitely gets quicker over time and takes a little bit of practice. Okay, so based on the etchings around the ring here of the sticker, I think I have a repress of After the Gold Rush, and it's from Terre Haute, I believe Indiana record pressing plant from 1975, and so I'm gonna add that into my collection. You can see the median price is $9.50, pretty good. Here's what I use for my cleaning materials for cleaning each disc. I just have a couple cotton balls. Usually buy a couple hundred pack for a couple bucks, some distilled white vinegar and normal distilled water. Just find a little cup or ketchup dish or something, sauce dish, to mix a 50-50 mix of these two liquids in. So for this next part, I usually have the record on my lap and I'm holding it with one hand while working the cotton ball in my other hand, but need to hold the iPhone down for this video. So I'm gonna dab my cotton ball in the solution here, and I'm gonna bring it over to the record and just start working it around, putting a little bit of force into it and making sure you're getting all the grooves around the record pretty well. Okay, I've done this side of the record pretty well. You can see there's a lot of liquid left around there, and that's just from the cotton ball. I haven't wiped it off yet. I do keep two microfiber cloths that I use to wipe this water off. One is a more coarse microfiber that I get in a 4-pack at Harbor Freight. The other one is a more fine microfiber cloth to get out any small dust particles. So I'm gonna start with this more coarse cloth to get any bigger dust chunks out of there, and then move on to the finer one. And I'm gonna do that off video here. Okay, I've got this disc wiped down on both sides with both of the coarse and fine microfiber cloths. The last step I do before I throw it on the turntable platter is to hit it just with some duster. Anything from your local hardware store or whatever will work. Just any remaining dust on the top. Usually, like I said, I usually have two hands on it when I do this. While you got your duster out, it may be a good idea to hit your turntable, all the cracks and crevices with that duster. I just did that last night, so I didn't feel the urge to do it again today, but something to do good every once in a while. I also keep a little bristle thing that I got in a shaving kit once upon a time to get any dust off the needle, just kind of hitting it from the underside right down here. Sounds pretty good to me. Looking at the oscilloscope too during recording, or playback I should say, you can see there's no random pops kind of coming out, or if so, they're very, very occasional, those super outlier lines that you see every once in a while. But nice little visual check on it, make sure it's clean. Little bit of final care for this record as the disc is playing back. I like to pull off the price tag, and for this, it's kind of silly, but I just breathe up close with my mouth on it, some hot, moist air, and use my fingernails to peel it off. And it's okay if there's some sticky because I use a little bit of 99% isopropyl alcohol, which usually works like a charm to get that off. Alright, I just pulled the sticky off from where the price tag was right over here. You can see it's not there anymore in the glare from the light. This is the isopropyl alcohol I use, which is available at any like hydroponic or plant grow supply shop. If you know, that's what's up. And just dabbing the cotton ball on there, wiping it off, and then kind of wiping off that remaining alcohol with another cloth to get the sticky off. A word of caution is sometimes the alcohol does cause the ink on the print of the record to kind of come off. It's like paint remover. So if you are worried about that, maybe test a small corner of the record on the backside or something like that where it's not very viewable to see how the ink will handle the isopropyl alcohol you'll be applying. After I remove the adhesive from the price tag, one of the final steps with the sleeve is to get another microfiber cloth just slightly damp under your tap water faucet, and I just like to wipe off the surfaces of all the sides of the record. If it's a gatefold, open it up and get the middle too, and just remove any remaining dust or must that's left in there. So I still got the Neil Young playing on the turntable, but just wanted to show you the final steps. As if I was pulling that record off, my next steps would be to put it in one of these poly sleeves that kind of forms to half the record and has 90-degree angles on the other half. Slip it in a paper sleeve like that, and then throw it in the cover. The final step I do is to put this final cover, this final outer sleeve in another poly slip cover, just to protect the outer side of this record. If you don't know this Herb Alpert record, you should check it out. Notorious B.I.G. sampled it on Hypnotize. Hope all this helps. Let me know if you have any questions.